One beautiful Sunday, in an insane asylum in Mississippi, a schizophrenic patient stood up in the middle of the litany and said, "Shut up, preacher, and pray." Words of wisdom lead us not into temptation. Every year, rednecks, Jesuits, Korean veterans of Korea, alcoholic Jamaicans and Haitians, janitors, lawyers, and Holocaust survivors all end up in my dad's church singing badly. Half the congregation is deaf and on Medicare, but they don't mind waking up that early on a Sunday. My family only prayed at home when guests came over. My dad played college football with a Confederate flag on his helmet and married a woman who grew up 2 blocks from where Medgar Evers was shot. And there is nothing like the resentment of where you come from to do what you do best. His first church was in Kentucky with a monthly salary of $200, 1 loaf of bread, and 3 dozen eggs. But 2 kids in the Reagan administration was a hell of a time to learn to count. Sick of life digging a hole for itself, we tossed everything holy in a U-Haul and started a church from the ground up in Massachusetts. Why? Stained glass still has pagan symbols, a broken podium. The pipes have so much lead, the water's too heavy to boil. A congregation of 7 people, including me and my sister. But how do you light up the room when 3 people show up for a funeral? How do you conduct your daughter's baptism when she doesn't speak to you? Your son is an atheist, and your wife won't tell you how she really feels about the sermon until Tuesday. Living the American Baptist dream, you can feel good about yourself for the price of a cup of coffee, but the Holy Trinity agrees unanimously that finance is an unacceptable rite of passage. If you look through the needle's eye with a telescope, God says you ain't shit. There's no extraordinary divinity. Southern Baptists hate my dad. They kicked him out of 3 states. Found him in a church in North Cambridge, told him to stop feeding the homeless and hand out pamphlets about Jesus. And my dad said, "Get the fuck out of my office." And when he performed the first gay marriage at the First Baptist Church in his district, a chef and an astronomer put on the rings in matrimony as if David and Jonathan were living without war. All the shaking heads were silenced, conjuring a history lesson, remembering all the embezzlement in the collection, all the misprinted scriptures, all the time there was no reason to feel guilty, asking God and the people to think back and please forgive the church.